Spring seems to be withering away, a trial separation from the month of May, but she knows that she's staying. She's dancing round the graves of her friends. One day soon we will see the fields glisten, and we will be explaining to those who never listen what it means to hold the mother of the earth in your arms. So why don't you just take a look around, find yourself a corner, dig your feet into the ground, and you know that you might find something that was meant to be found. This time I might leave you in the rain, wait for your return when you've cleansed yourself again, and you know that you're coming back sooner than you thought you would be. And this was all that I could see, and I know it's what you wanted to be. Like the sea could never be the same as me. Well-known saying that describes just how I feel, but the words are so complete that I just cannot reveal what it is. But I might just whisper it to you in the dark. Will you stay right here by my side, or will you run away and find somewhere to hide? 'Cause I don't think that I can search for you for too many years. This was all that I could see, and I know it's what you wanted to be. Like the sea could never be the same as me. Don't let your whispers ring out golden in the sun. Don't let your whispers...
Well, I had to remember to unmute the damn thing. Hey folks, welcome back. Open Pagan Church Talk Show. I hope everybody's doing well today. Hello, Discord.
Hello, Don.
Hello.
How's everybody?
Doing good. I got it.
Okay, so we're yeah, we are gonna be starting a new series, and depending on how many topics we can come up with that are coverable within this series will depend on how long it lasts. The series is called Down the Rabbit Hole, or the Rabbit Hole series. So what is a rabbit hole? Anybody want to play with that one? What is a rabbit hole?
Rabbit hole is subject that they're not fully correct, or subject we can talk about, or
Okay. So real simplistically speaking, topics that we normally would not cover on this channel.
because it's a family-oriented church thing. But
Well, I mean, yeah, we're family oriented, but we still tend to talk about things that may not always be comfortable. So what are some of the things that people are uncomfortable to talk about, and what I'm doing right now is creating a document so that as we come up with ideas, I can document them. That way, I don't have to try to remember after the broadcast.
Right.
Well, it's funny because the two most unpopular conversations are politics and religion. So,
True, true. The hairy scientist. Good morning. Have you missed it? Nope. We're just getting started. Just getting started. We're more or less, and welcome aboard for sure. Over in Twitch, looks like where you're coming in at. Thank you. We're more or less just kind of taking a little time today to go over some of the rabbit hole topics that we normally don't talk about in Open Pagan Church Talk Show. But you know, sometimes you got to sometimes you got to talk about the uncomfortable stuff. And everybody, let me know if I need to turn the gain down on my mic. It's looking a little high this morning.
Yeah, it is a little high.
All right, so all right, I just turned it down a touch. Let me know if that's any better. And I'm talking about on YouTube and Twitch, not on Discord. So a little bit of a reminder before we get too deep into what's going on. If anybody that joins wants to join us in Discord and actually talk to us like you would on a telephone or something like that, if you have a quote call-in question, you can feel free to join us in the live talk over on our Discord channel. And Cindy, if you'll post a link, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yep.
You'll need to post it in both YouTube and Twitch. So, a rabbit hole. People going down the rabbit hole. I mean, that that phrase that phrase has been around, hell, further back than I can remember. Um, every once in a while you'll hear me say, "Okay, I'm going to go down the rabbit hole here," and see what you guys think. Or every once in a while we'll have a rabbit hole topic. So we know that religion and politics, and then there's politics and religion, are topics of a typical rabbit hole. So if we, and excuse me while I type while we do this, but like I say, I'm taking down notes and ideas, of topics through this rabbit hole series here. And the most important thing is interaction. All right, you guys watching in Twitch, you guys watching in YouTube, and you guys that are talking over in Discord. These types of conversations have to have input. It's not all about me just sitting here running my jaws. You got to have something to say. So I've got politics and then religion. And the hairy scientist, that name does remind me. Science and religion typically can carry you down a rabbit hole pretty quick.
That can be one of the topics.
Yeah.
another one would be social equality.
Social equality. Well,
Social equality.
yeah, that's what Lester was saying. What about Now,
Got
I'm not going to go down the thought process of the ancient alien group, okay?
one.
I mean, okay, I'm not a subscriber much to ancient aliens. Fuck, I can't even say it. But I do watch the program. I do happen to think it's rather interesting, and some of the conversations that they have are like, well, you know. But it's kind of like atheism, isn't it? I mean, you know, I've talked to a bunch of atheists, worked with several. We've had major conversations, and their points are valid. Doesn't mean I'm going to denounce myself from paganism, but their points are valid. So I know this one would go right up Paul's alley. What about aliens and religion?
Yeah, that would be good.
And we're going to have to be very, very careful how we do that one because I don't want it to turn into a drama show, you know.
Okay, the hairy scientist is Chance, our friend that's coming on board.
Oh, okay, great, great. Good deal.
Yep.
Welcome for sure. Um, okay, come on. What are some topics that most churches will not talk about? What are some of the topics that um, even known pagan circles generally won't touch?
Well, pagan and Christianity together? That's a rabbit hole.
You're talking about Christian pagans?
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of my big pet peeves. Okay.
That's one we can debate about.
All right. Let's see.
Mm,
Sexuality. Nobody touches
That's
that.
cool, but it's not a rabbit hole.
It is if you want it.
What about what
what about
about
all the...
religion and sexuality?
Yep.
There's a rabbit hole.
That's a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have religion and sexuality. And let's see, come on. Over the years there's been a buttload of topics we absolutely flat refuse to cover either
All
because
right propaganda.
say again.
All right propaganda.
All rights propaganda.
Yeah, all lives matter.
You know,
Oh.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that damn.
That's social equality.
Huh?
That falls under the social equality.
Uh-huh. How about
Yes.
social equality? What are we facing here
Well,
in...
I've already got down social equality.
Okay.
And if somebody wants to carefully voice a personal opinion on different forms of social equality, that's fine. I tend to go different directions with social equality because to me, and again, this is me personally, my views do not affect all of those who come to Open Pagan Church Talk Show. But when you're talking about people, people, I mean, to me, everybody matters. You know, I mean, yeah, okay, I see color. You know, I'm not totally, completely colorblind. And, you know, of course, most white people say, well, I have several friends that are black. Well, okay, yeah. Huh?
Good for you.
Yeah, um, that's just like homosexuality. You know, a lot of people say, well, I got a lot of friends that are gay. Oh, that's fine. Like Lester said, good for you. But
I got friends that are pagan. Good for me.
right. But there's a difference in having someone of color or someone of another sexual orientation or someone of another religion as a friend. There's a difference between that and truly understanding and accepting the the trials and what have you that individual may go through.
Right.
I mean, I've had people tell me, well, you've never experienced, um, any kind of discrimination. And
You've
I'm
been for 20 years.
right. And I'm like, well, okay, let's see. I was arrested and jailed for a weekend because I wasn't raising my kids Christian. I've had, huh?
Morality and respect.
Morality and religion is a good rabbit hole. Everybody agree?
Okay. Yeah, I do.
Yep, we agree.
Alright, morality and religion.
Hey, Chance, if you have a subject you want answered, either type it in Discord or Twitch or what you I think you're on Twitch. Yeah,
Who are you talking to?
Harry Scientist.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I mean, anybody that has a topic that that I mean, come on, the juicier the better. We're going to start this series of down the rabbit hole. Hell, let's make it good.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yes. Well, true enough. Although, well, sex and drugs would be two different topics. What about drugs and religion?
Yep, that's where I was about to go. That's a rabbit hole.
All to and of itself.
Dark magic? We already talked about
No, we haven't talked about that one.
What's that?
dark magic.
Well, that would fall under drugs and religion.
Okay.
I mean, best I can tell, because there's a boatload of religions that use hallucinogens, mind-altering drugs. You know,
Yeah. Good.
I mean, first one comes to mind is peyote.
Yeah. Yummy.
Been there, done that once. Not gonna go back.
seem to be having some issues with my internet today.
That sucks.
Either kicking me off Discord or it's kicking my speaker off and putting it back to phone.
Okay. So why is it important to talk about rabbit holes? I mean, why is it important to allow oneself to periodically go down the rabbit hole?
Sounds funny though. Go down the rabbit hole in certain subjects, talk about it, and learn about it, but also give you a balance.
It helps you express your opinions on subjects that you don't normally cover and subjects that are taboo.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Um,
that scientist.
what's that?
Yeah, I had to set it up.
Oh, hey, welcome.
Hey,
Is that you, Chance?
it is.
Hey, welcome.
Good morning.
So, um, what about psychology and religion? That, in and of itself, is an interesting rabbit hole.
That's a complete definition of the rabbit hole, bro.
Can you think of any subjects, Chance, you want to learn?
Rabbit hole?
Yeah,
Yeah, rabbit.
most things that most groups, most people would be uncomfortable discussing, quote, in church, whether it would be a pagan church or a Christian church, either way. But of course, we're a talk show, so we don't follow any specific genre, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So is death a good option or a valid answer?
What's that?
Is death a valid answer?
Death, yes.
Death.
Death is in DEATH.
Yes, a lot of people are very uncomfortable with talking about death.
Yep, yep.
Rabbit. When are we gonna
I
die?
know at one point I went crazy thinking about death.
Yeah, death definitely sends people down a really, well, some people it sends them down a really dark place. So what I've got so far is psychology and religion, death, politics, religion itself, science and religion, social equality, aliens and religion, Christian pagans, religion and sexuality,
Yeah.
morality and religion, drugs and religion.
Don.
Yeah.
Paul asked, why is it all religion? Topic.
It's the rabbit hole.
Say do what now?
Then
Paul asked why it was all about religion. All the subjects are in conjunction with religion.
Because that's what makes it a rabbit hole.
That's it. 'Cause it's a rabbit
Not necessarily.
Okay, explain.
Well, just because it's about religion doesn't make it a rabbit hole. A rabbit hole is a subject that very convoluted, very opinion rising. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be about religion. It could be about whether or not we're alone in this world, galaxy. That's a rabbit hole.
isn't that the alien one?
Yeah.
That's aliens and religion incorporating alien philosophies into religion. In other words, it's been said before that all religions come from aliens.
Or that there are no real gods, all they are aliens.
Well, see, that would be aliens and religion,
The
wouldn't it?
rabbit hole.
I understand that, but it doesn't. Okay, never mind.
I mean, we can talk about just aliens, but we're gonna end up in aliens and religion.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, that's like sexuality. We can talk about sexuality, but it's gonna end up talking about religion and sexuality. Um,
okay.
yeah, no, you're fine. That's why we run this thing the way we do. That way everybody has a say. I mean, hell, I don't have to agree with everybody. I mean, that's one of the things, the purpose why we changed the name of it to, a talk show, because we're discussing ideas, we're discussing philosophies, we're discussing thoughts. It's not about Don the minister sitting up here preaching to people. Pagans should not preach. I mean, just the idea that we came up with Open Pagan Church, some have considered a rabbit hole, that the word pagan church should not be together.
Yeah.
Well, why not? If you look up the word church, it's a gathering or a congregation of like-minded people. So, yeah. Let's see here. So, Harry Scientist, what would you prefer to be called, sir?
You're muted, Harry Sinus.
No, I'm fine. You can just call me Chance.
Yeah. Oh, you what?
Yeah.
Chance. Yeah.
Chance is in Chance.
Yes.
Okay, great, good, all right. I will probably forget that 2 or 3 times, so yeah. I have a memory like a sieve, so there you go. So why do we even need to call it rabbit hole topics to begin with, when these are topics that we should just be able to cover?
Huh. Not in this society.
Ah, but why not?
Because in mainstream society, most of the topics that we're referring to are considered taboo.
Hmm.
They're just not discussed.
I mean, that's like psychology and religion. One of the counselors I talked to once came at it from the standpoint of God can counsel you better than I can.
Okay.
Well, that choked me up.
I said, thank you very much and have a nice day, and I walked out of the office. But you're still expected to pay for the entire session. I said, I'll tell you what, file on me and I'll report you to the American Medical Association and the Psychiatry Board for using religion as a method of counseling when you don't state that you're a faith counselor in any of your paperwork. You know, I never heard anything back from them, which, you know, when I counsel people, I do it from the standpoint of a spiritual counselor, not from the standpoint of a pagan minister. You know, counseling is not about religion. It's about getting the head screwed on right.
Right.
So what are some of the other things we could talk about? We've got 12 weeks lined out there.
I had an interesting note on the religious counseling thing.
Okay.
Um, Growing up with both my parents being pastors, I have been very involved in the church at different points, some more than others. Um, and there was this point where I needed a counselor, and they happened to be a Christian. And there was just something about it that made me feel really uncomfortable just discussing anything because he was looking through the lens of religion, trying to fix my issues when I really needed just more of a discussion and a deeper insight than that.
Yeah, and see, therein lies the problem. Because most spiritual counselors you go to, they take advantage of the situation to build the numbers of their church. And, you know, of course, we've never been about that. You know, it's like, hey, if you want to join the conversation, you're welcome. But when someone needs counseling, usually what they need is someone to listen, someone to use the phrase, well, if it were me, I would so and so. Or if it were me, I would such and such. And it's also very important for people to realize, especially those that are doing spiritual counseling, it's very important for them to realize when they're in over their head. You know, and of course, this will be one of the things that will go deeper into context when we do psychology and religion, which will be next week. By the way, I've got that listed up as number one. Is helping people understand that, you know, it's when you need counseling, you don't necessarily need spiritual intervention. Some may, most do not. Um,
You experience
Say what?
nothing.
Ah. So what if you don't mind me asking? That's Chase, right? Harry Scientist, your name's Chase?
No, it's Chance.
Huh?
Chance.
Chance. Holy shit. I'm sorry. I am so screwed with names, it's not even funny. So, Chance, if you don't mind me asking, what path do you follow, or do you have a path?
I still believe a lot in the Christian religion, but I'm also very spiritual and open to a lot of energy flow and different religious ideas and philosophies.
Still looking, Don. He's a secret.
Cool. All right. Well, one thing I will guarantee you, not a single one of us will attempt to try to convert you to anything you're not.
Oh no,
Not my job. But,
I mean, and I don't know. I like to hear other people's perspectives
of course,
to learn.
absolutely.
Like the old days, Don. He came to the house with his friend Charles, and we got into, talking about subjects. circle and energy playing and stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all, you know, okay, yeah, we're a pagan church talk show core, but, and one of the things that I have always enforced in our groups is I don't care what religion you are as long as you're respectful. You know, like you say, I want to learn. I want to learn. Um, I want to learn from everybody.
Yeah, my biggest perspective is just because I've thought that something was right my whole life, or people have told me, but it might not necessarily be going to be.
Well, the truth is 99% perspective, isn't it? Or perception, depending. The example I've always used, you know, if you walk into a room with a bunch of people doing different things and you've only got 10 seconds to look around in the room, so you walk in, you look around for 10 seconds and you step out, and then you have to describe what you saw. Well, 100 people are going to see 100 different things. A lot of them are going to see some of the same things, but most of them are going to see things differently than other people. And religions is the same way. I mean, like Lester's our resident Catholic who loves to do research. Um, and then Lester's wife is Christian. Um, you're still presuming Christian, and I say presuming because you're seeking. I don't want to assume anything. And it's all down to sharing wisdom, I think. And I think that's what it all ought to be about, to be honest. You know. So I guess, long story short, you are definitely welcome. Um, we absolutely like having as many people, and perspective as possible. Do it.
Nothing. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Was
He
that
was
a
talking to me.
was that a Sandy?
Yep.
That was me.
Hi. Give Mama Sandy a hug for me.
I would, but I got a tray in my hand.
Ah. Aha. Lester has been trade.
Betrayed
Well,
by my own doing.
yeah, I think the B trade comes a whole lot from our past, doesn't it, old buddy?
Oh yeah.
What about the final topic of the rabbit hole series? That'll be we're up to 12 weeks. Let's close it out on the 13th week.
Because that's always a lucky number.
I know, right? It's all, the number 13 has always fascinated the hell out of me because it has no meaning other than to the Knights Templar.
Right?
I mean, yeah, okay, if you dig deep enough, you'll find other meanings of 13 within some religious specifications, but the Knights Templar is where Friday the 13th came from.
Yeah. It's where the superstition of Friday the 13th came from.
Right, yeah. So I think we should close out the rabbit hole topic with truth. What is truth? Where does truth come from? Is there even a such thing as truth? Say again?
Yep, I agree with that because no, I'll wait.
No, go ahead. Come on.
Truth is to each person as what they perceive, believe, and honor.
Yeah, it's all down to perspective and perception, you know.
Yep.
Um,
Well, that topic's closed.
well, what I'd like to do on that is dig into some of the quote truths that have been laid out by other religious leaders over the years who either manipulated the truth for self-gain or spoke a truth for which they knew nothing about. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be just about the religious side. Personal side, government side, and all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah. Truth is truth, you know. And, even though, like, say, for example, week 6, science and religion, science, period, lays the foundation. I mean, we have to understand what science is. I mean, science by itself is just a word. But the perception, the connotation, the use of the word science is what makes it either very supportive or very scary, one of the two. And more people are starting to use the word science as a control factor. So, there are different areas, all kinds of different areas where we can go with these topics. But what I'll do throughout the day and over the course of the next week is I'll break these down into descriptions and explanations, and I'll start posting adverts on them and get them posted on our social networks so that people have an idea of what's coming, and they can start putting their thoughts together as to which weeks they want to they want to do. And if anybody actually wants to put together a talk on one of these particular subjects, let me know. Put something together, send it to me in an email, and we'll go from there. And, next people are going to say, well, what's the email address? It's openpaganchurch@gmail.com. I say again, openpaganchurch@gmail.com. Well, I kind of figured today would be a short one. Does anybody else have anything they want to go over?
Nope, not really. It's been almost an hour.
No, it's only been 40 minutes. 46 minutes to be exact.
Close enough. I texted somebody.
What about Louisiana? Is that close enough for Louisiana standards?
In Louisiana, we just don't care, bro.
I hear you.
Time is true essence.
Yeah, I hear you. Of course, your ass is fixing to have to start paying attention to time going back to work.
Yep, I sure will.
Do that.
Yeah, good luck on that. Cindy, let us know how you're doing, what you find out later today.
Yeah.
And that's Chance, right? Chance, I'm glad you joined us, sir. You're welcome anytime. If you're one of those that likes to put questions together, put them together, jot them down somewhere, and when you come in, absolutely feel free to join the conversation. The more the merrier. But,
More here.
huh?
Said he's not far from me.
Okay.
We talked something.
All right.
Busy.
That'll work. Well, guys, if nobody has anything else, I think I'll give your Sunday back to you, and I'll be posting the topics on social network as soon as possible. And if you guys have any input, by all means, definitely let me know. Thanks again for watching. Y'all have a great week and a good day.